Hey everybody, welcome back to Peaked in Sixth Grade. I'm here with Katie, just Katie this time.
It's me, I'm
Angie's out,
Katie. And you know Angie, she's a
a little
wonderful
busy today.
she's a wonderful woman. She got her own life going on. Sometimes she can't make it back home. She's off to war. That's going to be my explanation. Angie's in war right now. Which one? All of them. She's fighting to protect
Just
our
holding the line.
rights. She's just fighting to protect our rights, I can tell you that much. So Jayden, how's the stock market doing? Your little meme.
It's 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 a stock market, right?
Huh?
I don't know. It's everything has gone down, but not back to where it
Originally.
realistically should be based on like company values. Like GameStop is still, I think, about 5 times higher than it started
Mhm.
at before everybody got into the short squeeze. But right now, there's a chance that they'll still go back up because so many people are holding.
Uh-huh.
It makes some people think that there's like a ladder attack going on with the price to make it fall, because when so many apes are strong together, Katie, it's hard to believe that half would branch off and just do whatever they'd want. So a ladder attack is when, let's say for example, I had 250 shares, or X amount, doesn't really matter. I sold them to you, and then you sold them to me, and then I sold them back to you, and so on and so forth. It just
Mhm.
continues. That's a ladder attack, and it makes it look like the stock price is going down pretty heavily, but it's all outlying shares. It's not actually impacting the total percentage of the company. Like, it's not affecting the market cap of what's being held. And so the idea is that they're pushing it down,
Mhm.
and
Are you still not able
eventually,
to
like
buy
there
stocks
isn't
in
actual.
GameStop? Because I know Robinhood
Sorry.
had to. Are you able to buy stocks in it again? Because I know Robinhood like had it shut where you couldn't buy any stocks in GameStop.
They've made it to where you can buy a limited amount through
Okay.
Robinhood, but there's still uh, several, really big name brokers that people can go to if they don't want to use Robinhood or
Yeah.
TD Ameritrade. I don't know if TD Ameritrade still has the limits, but they also did when everything first started, and it's it's interesting.
It's just a fun little.
But
I don't.
they raised it. Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I said I got Build a Bear stocks.
Yeah. They raised the limits to be. I think like right now you can buy around 1,200 shares of AMC, and I think about 1 or 200 of GameStop, which is it's a significant amount. But again, it's not. If people want to invest heavily, they're not going to use Robinhood because it is so limited. Like just this morning, the man who owns Barstool invested, I think it was like 700,000 into AMC,
Look at him go.
because he sees that it could. Yeah, he sees that it could go back up, and it could, God willing. It's interesting. There's so many people who have come out and been like, hey, you guys, this is a start, but there's so much more. Like Mark Cuban, he was doing like a Reddit AMA. I don't know if that's gone through yet, but he kept saying that like it's about time that people get wise to all of these different things that the big man is doing, because there's so many more opportunities. These 5 or 6 different stocks, those aren't the only ones. And I don't know, it makes me wonder what the next 5 years of stock trading is going to look like. Like, I'm down currently, I want to say 70%, but I don't
Mhm.
see a reason to sell out and keep 30% of the money that I put in,
Yeah.
because then I'd just be running away from a potential increase down the
Mhm.
road. Like, I don't want to just bag hold, but there is still like it's kind of viable that they are doing a ladder attack, and they're artificially driving the stock price down. I don't know. A
It's
lot
an
of things
interesting
could
little
play out.
thing. You never know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. A lot of different angles.
But do you know what? Do you know what's fun?
I'd love to hear what's fun.
It's not fun at all. You know, y'all know our man Silento.
oh, oh, how could I forget?
You know the man who in the God's year 2015, we watched him whip and we watched him nay nay.
Oh, what an experience that whole concert was. They promised us
Do you
so
want to
many
like
different
explain
things
what's going
for
on?
that
What
concert.
concert?
Yeah, yeah, okay. So I think it was my junior year, Katie's sophomore year, they told us that we were going to have a concert sponsored by Takis just in the middle of the football field for fun.
At
And
our
everybody
school,
was like, "This is
yeah.
going to be great." Yeah, for all or ages. And like I don't know how people got wrong the lineup for this, but it was like sold to everyone that the plain white tees were going to headline. I think because they did at Coronado like
Yeah,
a
yeah, no,
year or
yeah.
two prior.
My
Yeah.
boyfriend Frank, he went to the one at Coronado and he saw the plain white tees and he's like, "Who'd you guys get?" And I'm like, "Oh, Silento. We got Silento. You guys got the plain white tees. We got Mr. Whip and Mr. Nene."
So many kids were of the impression that it was going to be the plain white tees that when they realized it was just Silento and that there was no follow up act, you could just look around and see the people trying to leave, and all the staff was like, "Nah, we got you. You're in. Fuck you."
Man, it's
It
just
was
I didn't even get to go to that. I don't know what I was doing that day. I think I was at work. Yeah, junior. This is actually my junior year, your senior year. I was at work. I was at Dunkin'
oh,
Donuts that day, so I couldn't go. A
aw.
shame, really. But is it really such a shame? Fucking on the we just forgot. We
It
didn't
was an
even talk. It
experience,
was an
definitely.
experience. Yeah, we're fucking just talkies are being like thrown into the fucking crowd or whatever. You got little drawstring backpacks. Everyone was so excited about. But we haven't even touched on
Give out.
what this is supposed to be about. Silento committed a
Yeah,
murder.
yeah.
This isn't
He
funny at all. This isn't the murder is not funny. But it's just
Well,
the
it's not
fact that
funny.
it was
It's funny to
Silento.
be full circle with this,
Hold on,
right?
I'm gonna
They
steal a
brought
joke. I'm stealing a joke here real fast. I'm sorry. This is in our Twitch chat from Kyler. He said Silento just wanted us to watch him, and when everyone turned away, this is what happened. We should have watched. This is what happens if you don't watch me whip a nay nay, bitch.
at that
Now
little
watch me
concert
whip.
that
Now watch me shoot ya. Now watch me whip. Whip. No.
thank
Sorry.
you. That's a good remix, Kate. You should release that. You know.
Um. Oh, I just realized this episode doesn't have Angie's little.
I thought
Boppity
about
boppity boppity boppity
biting it,
boppity.
but it's not mine
It's not. It's not the
to
same
use. I
without
can't.
Angie. Of course not.
It's plagiarism.
Of course.
Um,
It's copyrighted.
but at that at that concert, I was just going around. The kids, it didn't matter what kind of shoes they had on, and I was just saying, I really like your Yeezys. Where'd you get them? And everybody knew that it was a joke. Like I went through about 10 or 15 kids just saying this to them and joking, and
And you didn't get
everybody
tired of
just
it.
smiled and laughed it off. No, because I had a few other kids going around with me, and they were like, "Stop, stop," and I was like, "No, what kind of Yeezys are those?" Except this one white kid got really pressed. He looked at me and he was like, "These are Vans." Like, I got to him with that, and I never knew I could. That's one of the experiences that the Taki Silento concert allowed. I'm better for it.
You talking about just like you going up to several people making the exact same joke reminded me of this one time. I was at Goodwill like a month ago probably. And like the line was fucking huge. It was like a Wednesday where like the veterans and teachers get their little discounts. So the line was like
Yeah,
all the way around the
yeah.
fucking store. And this old dude went up to like every two guests and was just like, "Where are they? Are they serving us drinks?" Making us stand in this long line. They serving drinks. And then the other one would be like, "Haha, good joke, old man." And then he'd walk two more people down. "They serving drinks in this long line?" And I'm like, "Haha, yeah, I heard you because you just told it to that guy." And he just kept going down the line to every other two people until he got to the end of the line. And I'm like, he didn't go up to me. But like every two people, he just was like, "Serving drinks? Or what kind of drinks they serving?" Like he'd like switch it up like a tiny bit every time so it'd feel like a little bit original. But it just wasn't because he just kept doing the same joke. And I'm like, is this what it's like to be old? You don't care. Old people don't care. Old people just can say whatever they want, and they're like, "This is good. This is a
I
good
think
joke."
anybody can say whatever they want.
I've never.
You just
I
have to
don't
face
think
the
I.
repercussions.
What if they just were like? What if one guy was like, "You know what? Yeah, I got some water. You want some water? This is water. This is how people hold water. I just thought it was like a wholesome little meme. That guy's just like, are they maybe he really maybe he just really wanted someone just to serve him drinks. Anything else about that Silenttoe concert before I accidentally like ripped you away from conversation about Silenttoe?
I remember there was a booth sort of that had just trap music playing, and
During the Silenttoe concert?
Well, like between acts.
Oh, okay.
Before, while they were getting everybody into it and everything.
Before they
But
were getting
it was
Silenttoe into as
such
many outfit changes so we can perform Whip and Nay Nay over and over again. Intermission.
they were just it was such an experience. It was almost like the first trap concert, but it wasn't a concert, and it was just Metro Boomin.
Fucking our friend. So Silenttoe is a man of many mysteries. He went to jail like a year ago, I think, something like that. And our friend Jewel, our good friend Jewel, when Silenttoe went to jail, our friend Jewel, she tweeted. She was like, "I met this man once at my school a couple years back. We met, we talked, we took a few pictures together, and I can't believe I'd see him in jail. Like they were childhood best friends."
Yeah, like she was gonna go hit him up in visitation.
like they'd been friends for years, and she just couldn't imagine this happening. No, she spoke to him once at her school because he came to do the whip and the nay nay.
I don't remember if he gave the flowers to the girls while he was on the stage, or if the girls were trying to give the flowers to him.
Name
But
one girl that would be like, "Oh, Silenttoe, let me be your Silenttoe."
Stand by and support. Nothing. No words.
He whipped and nay nayed our way into our hearts. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
It's okay. There were a good amount of people up in the front row, like really trying to give him the flowers, and the whole time I was sitting there and I was just thinking, because to the women they're like giving the flowers, like I love you, and this man Silento, he was like an adult at the time, and these are like freshman girls. I don't know. I don't make the rules, but
Let's see. We got some questions. You ready for some fun questions?
all right. You wanna?
Yeah, of course. Vav in our Discord server asks us, "How would you fake your death?"
Plausibly.
I go, yeah.
Probably like, I don't know. You go first.
Oh, of course. Maria says, "Good answer, Jayden." Here's how I think I would fake my death if needed. I don't see why I would. You never know. I feel like
The day could arrive. You never know.
I feel like the easiest way would just to be like completely off the internet where no one online can find me. That's the first step. Is no one online can find me. I'd stop going to Denny's for a while. I would stop going to Denny's. That's my place of employment. And they'd probably be like, "Huh, wonder what she's up to." My mom probably have to be on it with me. Me and my mom have to communicate here. "Hey, mom, you're gonna get a call from Denny's. I'm dead if they ask."
Just Denny's.
From only I don't know. Nowhere else would be calling my mom about anything. I'm not in school right now.
Why? It seems to me like the only reason you'd fake your death in your head is to quit Denny's, or like to run from Denny's.
No. I'm just saying like these are steps. I gotta get my work to think I'm dead first. All right, and then I personally would find the nearest Radio Shack and then just kind of hide in the back. They'd never find me. No one would ever find me again. Because no one's going to the fucking
like in 6 months they'll probably be renovating them.
Oh, where's a place that no one's ever gonna go? Carl's Jr. I'm just gonna hide in the Carl's Jr. No one's ever gonna find me back there. Maybe the employees, but I'm gonna give them a fake name. So someone will be like, "Is there a Catherine here?" And they'll be like, "No, but there's an April." And then we'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm not looking for an April here." And well, gosh dang, we're the police and we've been fooled. You fooled us, the police. We're gonna head out. You know, they'll never find me. They'll never find me in the Arby's with a fake name April. Or I could just, shave my head, put on like an orange wig or something. Look like the baby, exactly. And I'd be walking around town, and they'd be like, "That's not Catherine. That's the baby." They look very similar. According to 3 guys in Catherine's Twitch chat earlier. And then I would just kind of live my life as the baby. And no one would have a clue. What about you? What's your method? You've had time to think.
I think it would be a good idea to go on either a camping trip or a hike alone.
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
Just leave one day, abandon the vehicle, probably live in the wilderness for like 3 to 6 months,
That's a
and
good amount of
then make the way
months.
back to civilization. Well, yeah, you gotta give people enough time to try and look for you, but then not find you,
Okay.
and then go through the grieving process. That way, if they see you in public and it's like, is that you're not like fresh on their mind or something like that. Like you
Uh
can
huh.
potentially go
Well,
back to
you
a
act like there haven't
relatively
been
normal life.
like my friend Jill told me this the other day, like how like some like Russian mystery of like the disappearance of like a bunch of Russians like disappeared in like the 50s and they just figured it out now, like they were still thinking about it. It was still fresh on their minds. Like what happened to these Russians from over 50 years ago? What happened to them?
Mhm.
They figured it out. It was hypothermia and killed them. Fucking who's surprised?
Who saw that
It
one
took them
coming?
70 years to be like, you know what? Maybe these guys who disappeared in the middle of Russia died of hypothermia. That might have been it. Maybe that's what happened to him. You said that you had like a bunch of like news articles that you were looking at, like that you like saved up for this. Any news articles you want to talk about?
There was the GameStop one. Oh, there was the Las Vegas loop that they're building. Circus got added to that, and if you don't know, which I didn't know until this morning, they're trying to build. It's going to be like 24 miles of track under the Las Vegas Strip to make it more
Is the
effective
strip
and
24
more
miles?
seamless for traffic. No, it's going to go down Las Vegas Boulevard and then to the left and it's going to go around and then to the right and it's going to go around so that they're like
To the left, to the
you can
left, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Now
oh wait.
kick, now kick, now kick, now kick, now walk it by yourself. Sorry, go on.
So thank you.
Of course.
Uh they
Put that on the Peak in Sixth Grade album.
they're going to make
Sorry, go on.
it very good. They're going to make it so that only electric cars can use it and it seems like it's going to be the way of the future. Like they're going to try and do that in a lot of large cities where there's one downtown area that everybody rushes to when work starts up for the day. And maybe 6 months ago it would have been a little bit better to start it
Yeah,
or
you
like
think so.
to get it going. But yeah, but well because there's so many less people that were
Driving around.
employed and out doing stuff. But I don't know. It seems like something that in 10 years could be in, or at least a plan could be a plan in most big cities
And it's
and
definitely gonna help
potentially
like
onwards
the
and
electric
upwards.
car businesses and stuff like that. Maybe
Oh yeah,
help the
oh yeah.
fucking environment type beat. Cause it's like an exclusive
This kind
club
of
that you
stuff
really
was
want to get into, where you're like, all these other cool kids are down there in the electric car loop. I want to be in the electric car loop.
for
Mom,
real.
mom,
That's
mom said it's my turn to be in the electric car loop. Come on, let me in. No, fucking let me in. I'm here.
it seems like the the future. Just it. This is one of the first truly incentivizing things, besides like the idea that you don't use gas and that
Mhm.
sort of thing. This is it'll be one of the first real incentives to have an electric car, like because you won't have access because it'll your emissions will
Yeah.
choke everyone in the fucking tunnel. You can't do that.
I think what would
So
be like a fun little
it's
thing is. Oh, sorry, you still going? No, you
no, you
can
can
go.
go ahead. I
Okay.
was just gonna add one thing, but
Oh yeah, you can just add it. You can add it after this if you want. We'll take turns. Mom said it's my turn to talk on the podcast. I was
I'll
gonna
be in
say
the green
this
room.
could be like a really like good start for like we've been fucking. This has been like in like the works for fucking like talked about forever, like a like a shuttle like a high like shuttle thing that can go like from city to city, like one of those like little speedy buses, like little trains that could just take you from Los Angeles to Vegas in like a couple hours or like an hour, like a little speedy boy one. So you don't have to like
Yeah,
and then like takes from like city to city like type of thing. I think that'd be like convenient. Like if they're like fucking working on underground shit, do like an underground train
I
that can
think
take us from Las Vegas to Los Angeles to maybe Florida, so we can go say hi Angie. I want to say hi Angie.
get the Tesla to go see Angie easily.
I'm
I
stealing my
think they're
dad. If you're listening, and I know you are, I'm stealing your Tesla so I can go to the underground train to see Angie or underground railroad to see.
go
Wait,
in the
that's a
loop.
whole underground railroad's a whole different thing.
Wow. I think if they were to do like, cross mountains and such travel, they would just go underground because we've had monorails for like 15 or 20 years and we haven't done stuff like that. I think
Mm-hmm.
because the
A lot of
weather
work.
conditions would affect them so heavily. Well,
Yeah.
it would investing work is something that they're willing to do if they can see the
Profit.
the light at the end of the tunnel, what it's going to do. Yeah, it's not even so much profit, but it's going to, if people could just drive under the tunnel, they wouldn't have to go down that real long road where you can just flip the car real
Mm-hmm.
easily. You know what I mean? Because if it was all underground travel and transport, they would be able to. It would be an enclosed, almost a vacuum space where they could control everything from humidity to temperature to keep everything running optimally.
Yeah.
And I think underground will be the wave.
How underground do you
Very
know?
cool
Like, do
stuff.
you know how like underground they plan on going? Because I know like there's like the whole little like Vegas underground meme where there's like a whole like flood channel connections of like where the homeless people vibe in Vegas. Like it's like lower than that underground, like underground, underground.
I'm not sure. I haven't I haven't looked into it that
Oh,
much. I just heard about the general idea. I read the one article. I just read that they added Circus Circus to the plan of the loop, so probably should have done a little bit more research.
adding Circus Circus. They're like, hey Circus Circus, can we borrow your one of your little amusement park rides? We're gonna use that to get everyone just going through. What if they build like a little roller coaster? I think that'd be
Oh,
fun.
we're just gonna build Utopia underground. Okay.
All right. So, Ludgate in our Twitch chat asks us what kind of music we fucked was back in the sixth grade. I really like the sixth grade questions. I think because it ties back to the original name of the podcast, which I feel like we never talk about. The podcast title, the podcast name is just there. We never really mention the sixth grade anymore. We used to back in our early days of the podcast, but now we've kind of grown out of it. Now we just talk about the stock market.
I'm sorry. I'll stop driving the boat.
No, it's like we have to rename the podcast to the moon in sixth grade.
No, it's amazing. There was a kid whose mom bought him like 10 shares in GameStop, or like maybe it was just 5, like a few years ago. It's just wholesome. Just like, here you go, son. I love you. And that man cashed out at like 10 or 11 years old for almost like $2,000. That's the kind of things that the short caused. Little things like that are what makes it all worth it.
I think what might
That's
I
why
think what might have
that's why
happened there is like an old senile grandma's like, little Timmy said he wanted a GameStop gift card. I hope this is what he meant. I got him some shares in GameStop. And he's like, Grandma, this isn't Grandma, I just wanted to play the new Sonic game. Grandma, this isn't gonna help me out. And then in like a few years, like his grandma's dead by now, and it's like it's 2021. He's like, Grandma? Thank you, Grandma. From the bottom to Grandma, Grandma was ahead of the curve. Grandma, mwah, mwah, this is for you, Grandma. Music I liked back in the sixth grade. Middle school was a wild time of figuring out what was up. Back in the sixth grade, I think I was going through my I hate modern music phase that everyone goes through and that I'm going through again. But not like modern music, just like I don't like a lot of like the popular radio songs. Not fun. But in the fifth grade, I'm sorry, in the fifth grade, my one of my best friends what loved One Direction was all of her heart, and so I made it so I hated One Direction was all of my heart, and that was my thing.
Opposites
I
attract.
was one of those kids in elementary, middle school who was like, I'm not like other girls. I don't listen to Justin Bieber in One Direction. I listen to Owl City in 303. Hit band of the song Don't Trust Me. Those are my two favorite artists, and those are my two favorite artists in the sixth grade. It was those two. Like my binder, like I used to decorate my binders when I was in middle school. Like was like different like pictures I'd print out and like paste together in like a little collage.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just a bunch of pictures of Owl City in 303. Like this is like the 303 logo. It's like this. Like I used to do this because I thought it was like look at me. I know the 303 logo, and everyone's like, cool. We're 12. We don't care about 303.
Put your gang sign away, Katie. We're trying to play tag. Stupid.
Oh, like it's like a fucking like and now, like all my friends from the 6th grade, like 303 has like a new album out or something. I got tagged in it, the post, by 3 different people. They're like, "Hey, Catie, 303 has a new album out. Did you hear?" And I'm like, "Yep, I know. Thank you. I know."
Thanks for keeping me
Like my middle school, Kick. We're fans of Kick here, right? Everyone loves Kick here.
Oh yeah, who could forget?
My username on Kick used to be 3owl3. So it's like 303 in Owl City. If you put them together, 3owl3. I thought that was cool and funny. I thought it was like really clever for that. No. And then I met someone on the internet in the 7th grade, and then I became like a huge fucking emo Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy fan, and then 303 in Owl City haven't hit my mind again until like 2 years ago. Or now I'm still listening to both of them. They have good music. But then I became emo, and that focused on my life for a good minute. And then there was my time in high school. I'm just going all out. This is my music case throughout the years. Fuck the sick. They were going all the way.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so then I started listening to emo music 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and then like 10th grade, 11th grade. No, 10th grade I was listening to emo music still. 11th grade I tried really hard to like be like, I am no longer an emo. I am a normal woman. I like normal things. I am a normal girl. Yeah. I was like, I love Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande is one of the best vocalists of our generation. She's so good at music. And I had all the Kylie Jenner lipstick and shit, and it was like, oh, it was fun. Oh yeah, that's when Jade and I became friends. Is when I was in my like, I like my Ariana Grande and Kylie Jenner stuff. I'm so unique and original. I don't know why. I decided I wanted to change myself completely. Like Ariana Grande has good music, but I'm not just like obsessed with her anymore. But I used to be like obsessed with Ariana Grande. That was my thing. And now I everyone in chat's like, I fucking hate you. But right now my favorite music is like, I'm a really big fan right now of like, I'm listening to a lot of Brave Carolina. Don't ask why, I don't know. And like a lot of like Mother, Jack Stauber, Grimes, Gorillaz. That's my beat right now. I'm a big fan of those guys, those buddies. But yeah, 6th grade, 303 in Owl City. And now we've just gone full circle. I went through all the phases. I'm full circle. I listen to everything now. I don't want to be one of those fucking assholes, but I've grown. I went through all the phases, and now as an adult, I can be like, yeah, I can look back and appreciate all those musics. I still like them deep in the heart. Because back in the 11th grade, if you talked to me, they'd be like, hey, did you ever listen to My Chemical Romance? I'd be like, back when I was emo. And now I'm like, when I was a young boy, my father. I like all those beats. It's Jayden's turn.
My Chemical Romance, definitely. I'm gonna go through my Apple Music to kind of relate it for sure. But during middle school, I had an iPod Shuffle that I used for music, and on that boy, I had like, it was mostly alternative and punk music, but it wasn't really my choice. Like, it was loaded for me that way. But I also really liked older music that was like came out before the 80s. It was really fun for me, and I felt like I got a good taste of like all the different
Oh yeah, like when you and I were
because
like, sorry, I'm just like when you and I were like in our friendship phase, we'd always like play like music from like the 80s, and that was like a fun little thing that like we'd do together. We had like our little 80s music phase together. I thought it was really fun.
Sweet Caroline always bopped in the car.
Bop bop bow. We played a lot of Andre. We played a lot of Andre 3000 together and Outcast, which is an 80s. That was just another fun little bop of ours. Was hey ya.
Together.
Sorry, go on.
I never really listened to rap music until like high school because it was kept away from me because my dad showed me music from the 50s, the 60s, and like part of the 70s, and then my mom showed me music from the 70s, the 80s, and part of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just got to absorb the music from like the late '90s and then the 2000s and so on. So I feel like I've got a real good taste of a lot of genres, but I didn't like rap music until high school because I just didn't understand that
Uh-huh.
people could also say something with like just speaking fast. I loved it. It was so
Yeah,
nice.
I did. I completely
The
forgot.
day the homie got in the car.
But like during the Ariana Grande phase thing, I also really liked like the music that like the trap music that you would play in the car too. Like that was like our little vibe too. But now I couldn't listen to a lot of it now. That's probably like the one music that I don't look back on and be like, I'm gonna go listen to that stuff now. Because we used to play like Little Pump in the
I
car. I'm
can't,
not going back to listening to Little Pump. I'm a grown woman. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't Gucci and Gucci Gang. I have bills. I have bills to pay.
I gave the opinion to Miles that the self-titled song Lil Pump was outsider music, and he had like a 15-minute conversation with me about how that was just cap. He was upset. He was, Katie, you don't know Lil Tracy?
No.
I'm having trouble finding specific artists that I listened to in middle school. I know I
Mm-hmm.
liked like Billy Joel,
Mm-hmm.
King. Then there was a bunch of
The most
different artists
random
in there.
trend. This is off topic. The most random trend on TikTok is happening where they're making the song like Zanzibar by Billy Joel into a TikTok dance trend. It's the
Okay.
most random like song. Like they ran out. They were like putting like fucking like names out of a hat and like we're out of dance trends. We're out of dance trends. And like one guy's like Zanzibar. We're making Zanzibar the next trend. TikTok is kind of like Just Dance now, where like TikTok dance trends range from like easy mode to hard mode. Where there's like it's like easy mode Zanzibar, like the little dance where it's like dun 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 and like the little gun move. I don't know if you know TikTok dance trends, but I do. And then like hard mode is like Oops by Young Gravy and fucking the Renegade. The
That's
Oops.
hard mode?
Though I can't do the Renegade. I'm never gonna know. Like it's like. But speaking of Young Gravy is the artist that you showed me that I still listen to this day. I love that man, Young Gravy. You brought the gravy
I
train into my
I
heart.
love Young Gravy. I
I'm so happy that Young
came
Gravy
to
is
school.
like a fame like he's doing really good for himself now. I'm
Yes,
so happy
yes.
that Young Gravy's doing good. Like he's like a big TikTok boy.
So in high school, I think like 10th grade, I got to a point where I would only listen to a few albums and then
Mm.
like a few songs on top of that, and it was a very interesting time, I guess.
Yeah.
It was albums by John Bellion, and
Ooh.
then there was one by a man named Asher Roth. I really liked his album when I was like 8th grade slash a freshman, and I don't know why. I really like the beats. After that, I sort of got into like appreciating the lyrics way more, and I got into surf punk, like the Frights and Peach Pit and all
Mm.
that stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that really made me want to go to concerts and like see people perform because I realized like they could produce the energy for more than just me, right? It's
Mm.
the whole team. Everybody's having a great
We should talk
time.
about concerts after this. I think that'd be a fun
My
thing to talk
first
about.
concert.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about it now. Let's go crazy.
yeah. I'm pretty much done. Yeah, my first concert was Don McLean when I was like 6.
Mine was Hannah Montana when I was
The man who
6,
does
and
American Pie.
I remember you said I think you went to the same Hannah Montana concert that I did. You said that you went to a Hannah Montana concert at some point in your life. I
Yeah,
think
I
it was the
remember.
same one that we went to.
I can't imagine she had like a residency in Vegas. So probably, but we sat down to speak to each other in school the next morning, and everybody was like, so what did you do this weekend? I was like, I went to a Hannah Montana concert, and they were like, no, you traitor. But
Traitor to
my
who?
dad told me
Were you like a Nickelodeon fan and then like suddenly like the
always, I guess,
oh no like
like
the Nickelodeon versus Disney rivalry? You can only go to
I would.
Victoria Justice concerts. You know this.
But my dad, I don't remember if I've said this on the
I
podcast
know
when
you
we
have, but
talked
you can
about the
repeat
Hannah
it.
Montana concert. Mike said that he was going to take me to see Hannah Montana before she turned into one of
Yep.
them depraved Disney stars.
Yeah. Angie keeps sending in chat. If you guys want to answer my question, I'm sabotaging the stream. We will get to it. Let us just talk about concerts for a fucking minute, Angie. But I was gonna say, like, when I was this is what, like, I kind of miss about, like, my emo phase, because someone asked, like, what my favorite phase was, and it was definitely my emo phase, because I would go to, like, a ton of concerts, because that was, like, the thing. And it's like, because, like, and they were cheap, too. Like, when I went to my Ariana Grande phase, I'm not spending $300 to sit in the fucking back row of a theater to, like, listen to this woman sing. No. Like,
Yeah.
all, like, these emo bands, it'd be like, they'd all be GA. Everything was GA. So, like, you can just get, as soon as you get there, like, push your way through. Fucking, I went to a Fall Out Boy. It was either okay, I can't remember which one it was, because they were all at the same exact place. It was either Fall Out Boy, Lorde, or Iggy Azalea. I don't know which one, but it was one of their concerts. I went to,
It went.
I saw all three of them at, like, the Cosmopolitan Pool in Las Vegas. I went with my mom to all of these concerts, and I remember, like, there was, like, these tall fucking people, like, standing in front of my mother and I and a bunch of other short people. We were all, like, 5'1", 5'4". And everyone's, like, complaining and being like, oh, we can't see. And my mom's like, excuse me, tall people in front, people can't see behind you. and everyone else was like, yeah, we can't see. Get in the back.
Wow.
And my mom started, like, a little bit, and they were like, fine, whatever. We can see from back here. I'm like, yeah, we know you can. We can't see the stage. We want to see Fall Out Boy or Lorde or Iggy Azalea. Move it.
Or all.
They were all together.
For who? If it was all one concert.
If it was all one concert, this was 2015. So Iggy Azalea
is the first opener. But
Iggy Azalea is the first opener. Lorde is behind her. Fall Out Boy is the main act. This is 2015. Fall Out Boy is the main act, I would say.
Were they that big in 2015? I thought. Okay.
Well, okay. Fall Out Boy's been around since 2005. In 2013 they got back together. So this was basically like their getting back together tour 2014, 2015. This might have been 2014. This all happened in 2014. So it's like their getting back together tour thing. Of course, Fall Out Boy's gonna be at the top there.
Dude, we're getting the band back together.
I
gotcha.
Do you have any, like, fun concert experiences?
I agree with that. Oh, I have a lot. But we're not going to go into those. I like at the first concert that I went to, because it was Don McLean.
Like, say for work ones?
A 5 or 6 year old kid. Well, no, they're not. No, I didn't mean that. I just meant, like, there's a lot of them.
Okay.
One of the first ones I had, though, was this woman, like, because he started performing a song, and I just, like, started singing, and I was, like, pouring my heart out. And this woman turned around and said, "Do you remember? Were you there when he released this?" And I was like, "No, but it hits me just the same." Mike told me that I said that to her. He said that, it feels just as real. And everybody was like, "Okay," and we were all bopping. I was standing on a chair. It was nice. That reminds me, it's not a movie, or it's not a concert experience, but a theater experience. And regarding the audience, Miles and I went to go see The Hunger Games when it had first come out. This was like 6th grade. I stayed at his house. It was a big, step of maturity for all involved. And we were up real late at night, But when we went to the theater, Miles, I found a seat, and Miles came to crawl over this thing to sit next to me. But when he crawled over it, he roundhouse kicked this girl in the side of the head.
Incredible.
And he went, and she looked at him, she was like, "Can't you see someone sitting here?" And he looked at her and just went, "Well, should have watched." I don't. It was great. I love that.
That reminds me of the time Jayden and we saw Young Gravy together, and Jayden got kicked in the fucking head.
Yeah.
Jayden got kicked in the head. I got kicked in the arm. It was fun. They played Come On Eileen, and then Jayden was having the time of his life. It was a good time. Sorry, go on.
I think at that concert, Savage Realm performed, and I had no idea that he was going to. And all of a sudden, this song came on that I knew.
Yeah.
And just went crazy.
Didn't he play Gary Come Home? Was he the guy who played Gary?
Oh yeah.
Well, at the Young Gravy concert, he played guy. He played Gary Come Home for the crowd, and then Young Gravy played the song from the SpongeBob episode where they were opening up for the Super Bowl. And it was just like a beautiful moment for everyone there because the Super Bowl didn't do it, but Gravy did. Gravy did.
Yeah. Do you remember? You remember at the end when he came out? Like they were at the end of Young Gravy's concert. They had music on the overhead playing just so everybody could leave
Hmm.
to not silence. And "Come On Eileen"
I just thought
started
about
playing, and Young
this.
Gravy came back out on stage. Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Oh God,
The
you were
whole crowd just
having the
started
time of
dancing.
your life. There was this one fucking guy who drank. There was glow sticks around the concert. This guy just snapped. Yeah, Gravy said like
Yeah.
if one of you guys drink this, I'll give you like a cookbook. He had like a cookbook. Like whoever drinks some glow stick, I'll give you a cookbook. And some guy's like, "Yep." Snapped it in half. Fucking drank the glow stick in front of him. He's like, "I want the cookbook." And the guy got to come up on stage for the SpongeBob song, and it was like, oh, people are crazy. America's a beautiful country.
There's a lot of opportunity for things like that specifically.
You want to get to Angie's
When I
question?
went,
Oh no, you can go. Say this, then we're going to
do
get to
it.
Angie's question before she kills
Yeah.
us.
Because this is an actual concert story. I saw Ski Mask in like I think it was like 2016 in a rental church, and it was such an experience. This man, there was only like 250 people in the venue, and there was like a cross on the wall, and then Ski Mask was up on stage just going crazy, and towards the end of it, he crowd surfed, and when he jumped the first time, everybody was ready for it. But I wasn't ready for it the second time, so all of a sudden I was just like hit in the side of the head with a man's ass. Ski Mask like jumped onto me. I was like, "Oh my god!" It was
This is a little bit sidetracked. Just one more quickie. I used to go to Warped Tour. I've been to Warped Tour 2016, 2017, 2018. I think they stopped in 2019, so I couldn't go to that one, obviously. Or did they stop in 2019? I think they did stop in 2019. If they had one in 2019, I went to it. I went to all the last Warped Tours that I could. I saw Sleeping with Sirens live. Yeah, it was Sleeping with Sirens, I think. It's either them or Falling in Reverse. It's one of those boys, but I'm pretty sure it was Sleeping with Sirens. I didn't know, like, before, like, I was, like, hanging out just waiting for them to go live, but there was, like, another band right before them at the same stage, and they were like, all right, let's do, like a crowd run circle, or, like, whatever, like, let's do a mosh circle, where you just run around in, like, a fucking circle, kind of thing. And so I'm like, I don't know what this is.
oh
This is my first Warped Tour. I don't know what this means. And then, like, everyone around me started running in like a fucking circle, and I was just like standing there 16 and petrified, and I didn't know what was going on. And like a bunch of grown men started like rushing at me, and I'm like, oh god, no. And I get knocked to the fucking ground, beer spilled on me, and I'm like, I just wanted to see Sleeping with Sirens. Why is this happening? What's going on here? And like I was with my friend, and I lost her. I'm like, oh no, where's Ava? I texted Ava. I was at Las Vegas, like at the fucking Hard Rock Hotel. There's no Wi-Fi at the Hard Rock Hotel unless you pay for it. So I couldn't find Ava, and I was like scared and confused. And this old lady, she walks up to me, she's like, "You have beautiful eyes," and I'm like, "Thank you."
oh, that's great.
I found
First
Ava,
tweaker
but it was like
experience.
I couldn't find her for the concert though. I got so scared. I had to like find her out. I was like, Ava, where are you? Marco Polo, I'm over here.
One of the best like crowd experiences similar to that I had was at EDC 2019. Steve Aoki performed, and he did crowd control, which is like imagine 80,000 people plus. You know that's the starting number. And the man on the stage is going to the left, move to the right, right, and you just like the whole audience is doing this, and it looks
Was
like
it
water. It's amazing.
was it like a Cupid Shuffle concert? To the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left.
No, if there would have been any kicks, people would have lost lives. So I don't know.
Aw, do you want to be such a lovely
He had
concert?
everybody,
I would love to be at
like
just a
almost
concert.
100,000 people crouched down all at once and then jump up together. It was,
Oh, I love that. I feel like it'd be fun to go to like a concert where like they just played like the Macarena and the Cupid Shuffle. It sounds like you and like a whole fucking crowd are like, all right, sorry.
that's what the trance stages are.
We'll get to Angie's question. Okay. Angie's question is gonna be the last question, and then we're gonna end it. We've been here for a solid minute. Angie says, my question for you guys is the trolley problem. Bitch couldn't even give us an original question. Would you trolley problem? Would if you're on a trolley and you can either kill 5 people but save someone close to you, or kill that one person to save 5 people. Here's my thing. I'll go. I'm killing the 5 people to save the one person that's close to me. Here's my take. Right now in America, 2,000 people are dying every fucking day. And it's like, I'm not even fazed by it anymore. 2,000 people are dying every day. This is just an everyday thing now. I don't know these people. And on the trolley problem, I don't know these 5 people either. But like, if like people are dying from corona every day, and it's like, it's just becoming like a normal thing to me. But like, if my like grandmother was to die, that'd like affect me more than these 2,000 people dying every single day. So it's like, I would save the one person who is close to my heart than these 5 people that I don't know. Because it's like this is literally my day. Is like I'm doing my part. I'm wearing my mask everywhere I go, and it's like, it's just, I can't control it. These 5 people. If I know I can control the 5 people dying here in this situation, but it's like, it's either these 5 people I don't fucking know, or like my grandmother. I'm saving my grandmother. I know her. Her death would have a stronger impact. Because either way, I'm killing another human being. So I have to deal with the guilt of killing another human being, but having me have to kill my own grandmother or 5 people that I just don't know. It's the 5 people that I don't know.
I get you. Okay. From my perspective, I didn't see the grandmother pop up in the question.
Oh no, it's not. It's no. Okay.
Sort of relation.
Okay. I'm doing the trolley problem thing where it's like that's how it is. It's one person who's close to you or 5 strangers. That's like the trolley problem.
How close though? Like,
I
is
would
the thing, because
I would guess like close, but I feel like even like if it was like it's like a friend who I don't know that well, or 5 people that I don't. Oh, Angie said in my question they're all strangers. That's not the trolley problem then. That's different than the trolley problem. Okay, if we're going with Angie's trolley problem, then the fucking one person over 5. But the actual trolley problem is like one person that's close to you or 5 strangers.
So I would say pretty quickly the save 5 people to one person, and then let one go. But you could even back it up more if you know the person. Like, there is the concept that the person is close to you, and then it would be a person in your life that wouldn't be there. But you might also know that the person isn't going to do anything for humanity. Like, they're almost just dead weight, like kind of posted. And the other 5 people, them being strangers, could add to it in that you don't know what they could do. So I don't know.
I'm looking it up right now. I always thought the trolley problem was the one person was someone who was like close to, and I thought that was like the bit for it. Like, I feel like it just being 1 or 5. Who would choose the 5 over the 1? Because I feel like that one person has to be somebody like important for you to be like be like a debate there. Is would I rather kill this one person or 5 people? Because if it's just 1 or 5, who the hell is saying 5?
Yeah,
or like unless it's like some fucking like Ted Bundy asshole, kill the 5. Fuck them. I always thought like the dilemma had to be the one person's
a
important.
Question of morality to like a test question to see whether or not you're just a fucking psycho.
Yeah, like that's like I always thought the one person was like someone dear to you, kind of bit. And that's where the morality came in, where it's like, okay, am I gonna save these 5 people who I don't know, or am I just gonna kill one person, kind of thing. That's what I always thought it was, but here I am fucking wrong and stupid, I guess. Look at me, Katie's a fucking dumbass live on air. Tune in, clickbait. That's the podcast title. Katie's a fucking dumbass live on air.
I don't think you're a dumbass for making the question more realistic.
Yeah. So I think, do you have anything else to add before we wrap up this podcast that we do together?
Hold GameStop. This is not trading advice. You will lose money, but hold GameStop.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you guys for coming.
For tuning in.
If you go to our Twitter, it's twitter.com/Peakton6. It's the number 6, not the spelled out word. And then you can find our link tree where you'll find our Twitch, Peakton 6th grade. We do these streams like once a week. We might do something new with the stream, so it'll be like different kind of content, because I've been debating if we should be doing weekly podcasts or if we should just do bi-weekly, and then like every other week we have some other fun little thing we're doing, because I've had some people tell me that they can't keep up with every episode every week. So we're gonna talk about that. Jaden hasn't known about this. We're gonna talk about that here in a minute. Later on was
Okay.
Angie. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. Stay safe out there and hold GameStop.